Hello and welcome to part 2 of missile launch. Part 2 we're going to be adding in our enemy, and I'm going to show you how to set it up so it'll move on the screen. And we'll also set up a score label and a score value so that when we hit the enemy with the missile, it'll score it. Alright, so first thing, let's go ahead and set up our score label and score value. So let's grab a horizontal arrangement and drag it up to the top here. And let's go to Basic and grab two labels and place them on there. Alright, so for this first label, let's rename it. We're going to name this one Score Label. And then under the properties, under text, type in score with a colon, and then go ahead and select a text color. And let's increase the font size to about 20. And then go to label 2. Let's rename this one Score Value. It'll hold the value of the score. And let's do the same thing with it. Let's put the font size at 20 and go ahead and select a text color for it. And then under text, let's change that to 0. And then once we have those things, let's go to Animation, and we're going to drag in an image sprite right here. And these image sprites that we're putting in will be like the spots that the enemy pops up in. So we're going to rename this Target 1. And I want you to set the X value to 0 and set the Y value to 0 for this one. And we're going to repeat that. We're going to grab, getting a little error there, let's see, Target 1 0 0. Alright, so I have the, you're going to grab another image sprite and drag it in. Getting a little error here. Let me pause the video and see if I can get this to come out right. Okay. Alright, so I've selected a second image sprite and I've named it Target 2. And we're going to set the X on that to 60 and the Y to 0. And I keep getting these errors, but I'm just going to move on here. So we want to keep doing that. Image sprite, you're going to put in 5 image sprites. Okay, so we're going to name this one Target 3. And we're going to change the X, so we'll go by 60 each time. So this third one, the X will be at 120, the Y will be at 0. Our next image sprite will be Target 4. This one will be at, the X will be at 180 and the Y will be at 0. And then the last one will be Target 5. The X will be at 240 and the Y will be at 0. Once we have those 5 targets, you're going to add in another image sprite, and this time we're going to rename it Enemy. This will be the little enemy that pops up that we're trying to shoot. And we need to add a picture for it. So go to Picture, go to Add, and go to Choose File, and you want to go to the 506 Google App Inventor and then Missile Launch, and select the one that says Alien. Click OK, and then upload it. And once it's in there, you just want to click OK. So this will be the enemy that we're going to make a list, and we're going to have this enemy pop up at these random spots. So you'll have to move your spaceship and then shoot it. Okay. We also need to get a clock. So let's go to Basic, Clock, drag your clock in, and let's go ahead and rename this clock. This will be Enemy Clock. And we're going to leave the timer interval at 1000 milliseconds or 1 second. Okay, so once we have all that set up, we're going to go to our blocks here. and we want to start by creating two variables. So you want to go to built-in definition, get the variables. The first one we're going to call display enemy, and you're going to go to built-in lists, and you want to find the one that says call make a list. Our second variable that we're going to set up is going to be current enemy. And you want to go to built-in math and number, and let's give it a value of 0. So we're going to set up a list, and then we're going to have basically a current spot that the enemy will pop up in. So once we have that, you want to go to built-in definition, and let's drag out a procedure, and we're going to name this move enemy, and this is going to, if I can spell it right, there we go, this is going to move our enemy around through the different spots that we've done. Alright, so let's go to my blocks, my definitions, and we're going to select the one that says set current enemy to, and we want to go to built-in, and we're going to go to lists here, and we want to find the one that says pick random item, and then we're going to go to my blocks, my definitions, and find the one that says current enemy. So from the list, current enemy. So this will be it'll pick a random item from the list, current enemy. Okay, so actually that's not right. The list that we want it to pick from is going to be the one that we've created here called display enemy. So under my blocks, my definitions, you want to get the one that says global display enemy. Okay, and then we need to set up where our enemy is going to move. So we need to go to my blocks and go to enemy, and you want to find the one that says enemy move to, call enemy move to, and for the X and the Y we'll go to advanced and any image sprite, and you want to find image sprite X, and go back and get image sprite.y as well, and we're going to select current enemy and add that to the end. So that was under my blocks, my definitions, global current enemy. Okay. Alright, so once we have that set up, that procedure set up to move our enemy, what we need to do next is go to my blocks and then go to screen 1 and screen 1 initialize. And what we're going to set up is a call button. So we're going to go to built-in lists and then call add items to list. And we know our list is our display enemy. So we need to go to my blocks and go to my definitions and select the one that says display enemy, so global display enemy, and then our items from our list will be the targets that we set up. So we're going to go to target 1 here, so my blocks, target 1, and then at the very bottom you want to select the one that says component target 1, and you want to do that for all 5 of them. So just scroll down to the very bottom, select it like target 3, component target 3, and do that for target 4 and target 5. Okay, so once we have that, I'm going to pause the video and see if I can pull it up on the emulator, and then we'll test it out. Okay, welcome back. So we've set up basically our list and everything. There's one thing we forgot to do, is call the procedure. So under screen 1, when the screen 1 initializes, we need our enemy to move. So we need to have this procedure called. So when you create a procedure, under My Blocks and My Definitions, it creates a call button to call the procedure to happen. So you want to select Call Move Enemy, select that and drag it down. Okay, so once you have that in, and if I refresh my emulator, I'll see that this alien will move. So I'll go ahead and do that. And while I'm waiting for it to connect, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how to set up basically the score value. Alright, so we need to go to Enemy. So under My Blocks, go to Enemy. And you want to select the one that says Enemy Collide With. And we're going to put, for the name, we're going to put Missile. So we want to set up something so that when the missile collides with the enemy, the score will go up. So we want to scroll down to Score Value. Find the one that says Set Score Value.text to. We're going to set it up so that when the missile collides with the enemy, the score value will go up. So we want to go to Built-in Math, get the plus sign, and we want to go to Built-in Math, and we're going to add a number to the end. So let's go ahead and put 1 for that number, and then for the value it'll be Score Value.text. So under My Blocks, you'll go back to Score Value, get the one that says Score Value.text, and also we're going to call the procedure so that once the enemy collides with the missile collides with the enemy, we want the enemy to move again. So we'll go to My Blocks, My Definitions, and we'll grab our Call Move Enemy so that the enemy will move again when this happens. Alright, so let's click Fire. So as we hit the alien, we can see the alien is moving around, and as we hit it, it moves, and you can see that the score value goes up. Alright, so once you have that done, you're going to be done with Part 2. And then in Part 3, what we'll do is we'll implement a health meter, and we'll have asteroids that come and try to hit our spaceship. Alright, so once you have that, you'll be done with Part 2. Thank you.